Welcome to Two Humans Talking, the podcast where we talk about how to be healthy and stable in this modern, fast paced world. I'm Tiffany Simms, your holistic wellness coach and burnout recovery expert. And today, if you are feeling lost and you're looking in the mirror and you're questioning, like, who am I? Like, wondering what your identity is, whose life am I living? Like, today's episode is going to be for you. I am bringing you this light of a woman. Her name is Shelley Meche'tte, and she's going to help us talk about purpose and confidence. And so, Shelley, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you. Thank you for having me. I am so excited about this conversation. Tiffany, this is my jam right here, girl.
Girl, I could feel it. And so you don't know this, but behind the scenes, before we hit record, like we hop on and almost into like a green room. And it's most of the time, the first time I meet our guests. And this woman came in with so much energy and fire and passion right off the bat. I was like, today's going to be such a good conversation.
I love it.
So, Shelley, let's start. Like,
Yeah.
who are you? Like, what makes you you?
Oh my goodness. That is such an amazing question because most of the time when we ask someone, who are you, we begin with our titles. The same way that I would. Hey, I am a speaker, I'm an empowerment speaker. And so we'll rattle off those titles of who we are. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with anyone knowing those titles. But I love the opportunity for someone to say, "Hey, tell me about yourself." And instead of me going into I'm a mom of two, I'm a wife, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach. I love to be able to let you know I am a laid back, take life as it come, really chilled individual who loves to watch Good Times or Golden Girls at night. That
Yes.
that is that is who
Did
you
you
get.
hear there's a Golden Girls remake coming?
No,
I don't know
no,
all
I
the
did
details. I
not.
saw it I saw it in a scroll and I was like,
See, I would be watching that. I will watch that. And
it
so,
has
and
like
that
Tina
is
Fey in it.
with Tina Fey.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
that was one of the faces. It was like that
Oh
like
yeah.
40, 50-year-old range of like women that we've been
Uh-huh.
following on the screen for a long time. I was like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
that'll be good.
Now,
Anyway,
I'm going to get into that because again, that is who I am. So I love the opportunity. The titles are wonderful and great. I love to be able to let, people know how I'm able to assist them, what I do in my life. That's great. And I love it. But what I love even more is for someone to get an opportunity to look at me and go, "Oh, hey, that's Shelley Meche'tte. Oh, she loves her a good sitcom. Oh, that's Shelley Meche'tte. Oh yeah, she loves to be able to sit down, and get her ice cream cone and just chill. That's Shelley Meche'tte. She loves quiet time and quality time. Okay, yeah, I know her."
I even just love the way that like the sass, even when you just say your name, like I'm like this woman. You're right though, because
Mhm.
even in your intro, and you are positioning it in a way that's speaking to someone too, right? And it's not just about you, but it's about you. Like I'm already in love with you.
Oh,
Like I know that you like reruns as much as I do, that you like
yes,
good humor and good oldie sitcoms, which they don't
I
really make
do.
very much anymore.
Right,
And
right.
you have this sass. And I wanted to bring awareness to that and say those things out loud because I know there was a time in my life, Shelley,
Mhm.
where like I wasn't aware enough to be picking up those little cues in conversations because I was so in my head because I didn't know who I was.
Yeah,
And so like
yeah,
I didn't even get to be in those moments to be like, God, I love her. Like, oh yes, like I love that. I love this.
yeah. Hmm.
So I want women to like just pause for a second. Like, how's Shelly
Absolutely.
talking about herself? Do you see how there's so much life? Like,
Mm.
and then us discover that for help them discover that. So anyway, I didn't mean to steal your thunder or anything.
No, no, honey, we got thunder together, okay? Let us roar. Absolutely. And but like you're saying, it's understanding and knowing your identity. One of the things, because I come from a background of being a stay-at-home mom. And before I was a stay-at-home mom, I was a single mom. And I
Mm,
had all types of goals and dreams and things that I wanted to do. I have an entertainment background. When I was young, all I ever wanted to do was act. I think I was in the womb, honey, laying out monologues, okay? Because that's what I wanted to do. And so me understanding my identity, I had to begin to separate who the woman was from who the titles were. Because when I walked away from my job to become a stay-at-home mom, here's something that I didn't know. I walked away from who I thought I was because everything about me was wrapped up in the title or how other people saw me. So instead of me being able to be the type of mom that I wanted to be, I thought I was the mom I wanted to be, but I was trying to chase the mom that society said I should be.
I just wrote that
So,
down. Separate
yeah,
the woman from the title.
yes.
And
And that's where it's began to happen when I started separating that. But that's when I found out, hey, I have no idea who this woman is.
do you know what I love about that is that we work really hard for those titles. I don't want to take the
Oh,
credit
I'm not
away
taking
from that,
anything away from them.
right? I love separating myself from the title because there's a lot of skills and character traits that I value that allowed
Mm-hmm.
me to get those titles. I'm the
Exactly.
character traits.
Mm-hmm.
I am the woman that was capable of creating that space and holding all of those things.
Absolutely.
That's who I am. And
Mm-hmm.
through all of that, I was able to accomplish and achieve.
The things that I
Oh,
accomplish. But when I don't know that, and when when I take away and go, when I take away the fact that I'm the CEO, when I take away the fact that I'm an actress, when I take away the fact that I'm a speaker, when I take away all of those titles, what am I left with? I'm left with a woman who enjoys fun conversation and who's lively and who likes to sit back and have a good time. And because I am a person who loves to act, see, when I separate that title from I'm an actress, because in my mind, if I'm an actress, then I'm making this money and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And if I don't have those things that come along with that title, then I feel like I'm not as important. I'm not as valuable. I don't have those things within me. But when I separate that and say, it's not the actress who's so amazing, it's the woman who loves to act that's amazing. I can find acting anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? I
oh
don't
my
have to be
God.
coming to you in front of your television set to be an actor. I get in my bathtub, honey, and I because that's what I love to do. So when I can separate the title from the woman and the being, then I find the worthiness and value in all of the aspects of
Because
who I
you
am.
are. Because you
Because
are.
this is who I am.
You just get to be, you get to be because you
I
are.
just get to be. Now, don't get me wrong. When you love to act, you want to get out there and you want to, if that's your goal to be on television, do that. But what I'm trying to say is when we put the value in the title, in just the title versus the value in the being, I am an actress because I love to act, because I love the work, but I don't have to be coming to you on your television set once a week to enjoy the work. I can enjoy the work in stage. I can enjoy the work coaching others to act. I can
You get
enjoy
to
the
enjoy the
work.
process.
I can enjoy the process. I could go get a couple of monologues from the library and get in my bathroom and begin creating masterpieces. I don't have to be confined by the title. But when I look at the person and who the person is, I find joy, value, and worthiness in who I am.
Girl, yes. Like, I love that example, and I may be using you in when I am like setting things up in the future because,
Take it, girl.
well, yeah, thank you. I'm like, I can see this coming into future examples for me because in my world, like I shared with you backstage, I shared with
We
you,
was backstage. We were.
right? We were backstage. I had shared with you that I help women lose weight. And
Hmm.
a lot of times, a lot of women who come to me, like they're very, all they want is the weight loss. But really, it's the weight loss is the answer for them to get all of this life that they feel like they're missing out on.
Yeah.
And a lot of times clients get so nervous because I'm like, we're not getting on the scale, at least not
Hmm.
in the 12 weeks we're working together. Because when you learn how to be a healthy human, and
Yes.
you show up every day with that intention, your body will let go of everything that wasn't designed for it, and you will
Hmm.
just be healthy. You no longer need the scale and to tell you who you are. And so I'm
That's
always
so
looking for
good.
other examples, and I love your one about being an actress. I am
Yeah.
an actress. I don't need
Yes.
the job. That's a result of my skill level. I get to
Absolutely.
be this and
Hmm.
strive for
And
all the
exactly, exactly. But I'm not limited by that. And so therefore, if I reach The heights that I desire, awesome. I always go for it. Always go for those heights. Just don't allow the titles to strip you of the person and the woman that you are, because we get so stuck in our titles, including the title of motherhood. We get so stuck into, what does the world say we should be as a mother? How am I supposed to identify? There's no roadmap. And so when there's no roadmap, we begin reaching for other things instead of creating the things that work for who we are, where we are, and what we desire.
Yes. And as women, it's becoming more and more clear to me as I've been aging. Women, we were created to create. We
That
literally
and that
have
was so
organs.
that's so simple and profound.
You know what I mean? Like, we were literally given organs that can create life,
Yes.
create another organ.
Yes.
Like, we were
Yes.
meant to create. And if you
Mm-hmm.
can't be, then, and you're always everywhere else chasing, I can see my screen lagging. Hopefully, I'm still here. And you're
Yes.
always chasing, then you never have the calm or the space for
Right.
your creativity to just blossom.
Exactly. And that's where we begin, creating this unfortunate overwhelm, chaos, self-identity crisis. Am I enough?
The
am I not
burnout.
enough? And we bring those things into our everyday. And then what happens is we begin spewing that, with those around us, spewing that to our spouses if we have one, to our partners if we have one, to our family, to our children. And so we begin to create or live in a broken state. And so we begin parenting through brokenness. We begin having relationships through brokenness. We begin chasing careers through brokenness. And then none of those things become enough because we never have the opportunity to just be and just say, who is this person? Which is exactly what happened to me, because I was chasing everything that someone else said I was. And please don't get me wrong, goals, dreams, desires, all of these things
Important.
go. Yes, all of these things are important and they're important for us to go after. The problem is when we don't have identity within ourselves, then you end up like me, standing in front of a mirror after being a stay at home mom for a few years in complete exhaust, burnout, identity crisis, to the point of where I fell out on the floor, in agony, because I had no value, no worth. I had no idea of what I was supposed to do outside of making lunches, preparing, picking up, doing errands. Everything was about someone else. And I forgot the importance of me. Everyone else became important except me,
Did
to
you
the point where I
forget
was
it?
angry and bitter.
Now, did you forget it or had you never been taught how to see it and be her?
That is a wonderful question, and it's a wonderful perspective. I come from a single mother who always poured into me and always poured into me, the person. She's the reason why I always was able to get up and do. Seeing her was the reason why. My mom was a very strong woman, and she was a very organized woman, and she always had an answer even when she didn't have an answer. It was okay, I don't have it, but we're getting ready to find it. So I grew up being able to see this in another person. The problem was, with everything that my mom was feeding me, the world was canceling it. And so every time my mom tried to pour life and let me know, this is who you are, see your value, see your worth, see the things that you can do, someone else was coming in snatching it. And so, even in me growing up, a lot of the praise that I received is not that it was a negative thing, but it was a conscious thing as I became older to realize even the praise that I received, it didn't have anything to do with the woman or the girl I was. I was praised when I got good grades. I was praised when I won an oratorical contest. I was praised after a performance. So all of these things built into me connecting myself and connecting my worth to titles and accomplishments. So it's not that I couldn't see me, because my mom made sure that I saw me, but where the split was is, yes, she honored me, she loved me, she gave me verbal praise, but I connected that praise with the things I did good, because instead of her just being able to look and be like, wow, you're such a beautiful young girl, you're so funny, or you're this or you're that, things that were characteristics, it was connected with accomplishment.
I love this conversation, and I've been actually thinking a lot about this. Like, I don't have kids, but I am an aunt, and I am the, you know, my friends have kids that I absolutely adore, and I'm trying to find my way in like, what's the right way to acknowledge and praise so that they don't have that, like, I have to perform to be loved,
Mm-hmm.
while at the same time, like, when you, like, hard work goes into those accomplishments. They weren't
Yes.
just easy. And so when I
Yes.
look back, because I think we have this movement of like, we can't give participation trophy. Went to participation trophies for everyone. And then the reason I'm an overachiever in my life and I'm burnout and that this is work is because I was only recognized when I did great things. And it's like, how do we do both? And I just think our
Yeah.
previous generations didn't have the language because I don't think anyone ever intended
Absolutely
to
not.
for this to come where it went. So
Mm-hmm.
like how do we do both? Like
Yeah.
when you think about that for your life, what do you do with your kids? How do you give
For
them both?
me, I love for my children. When I raise my children with them understanding. The first thing that I told my kids when they did something that, that was against what we wanted, I made sure from them being small to let them know it doesn't matter what happens in life. It doesn't matter what you do. If I'm disappointed, if I don't agree, if we're on the opposite ends of the spectrum, I will always love you. And there's absolutely nothing in this world that's ever going to change the amount of love I have for you. So as you go throughout your life, whatever you do, whether I agree with it, don't, whether it disappoints me or not, always know that at the core of everything, my love is always yours. So let's just get that out the way solid. It doesn't matter. Good grades, bad grades, A student, a D student. My love never changes. I think that really helped my kids to be able to, in my opinion, to make mistakes and know that it doesn't affect or the love. And so I think that was very important. My mother never not loved me, and I never thought that her love would change, but it's a difference when you hear it. When you hear someone say the mistakes you made or make or will make in life has absolutely nothing to do with how I view you and how I see you. You
Oh,
will
that's so
always be
important.
a beautiful, wonderful human being to me. So I think that that was one thing that I always wanted to make clear with my children. The second thing I wanted to make clear to them is I always like to be able to let them know I love certain things about them. One of my daughters, she's such a sweetheart. And if she knows that you like, chocolate covered cherries, if she sees chocolate covered cherries, she's going to buy them and just sit them on your bed. And so I always wanted to make sure that I made reference to the fact, wow, you're such a loving individual. You're such a kind individual. You're always making sure that if you love someone, you give them certain things to make them feel special. And I love that about you. Ding, that has nothing to do with what you've done. It has to do with your heart and who you are. So I've always wanted to pay attention to those things. My oldest daughter, I always wanted to let her know that she's so ambitious, and I love her ambitious nature. But even if you weren't ambitious, you're such a clever person. You're such a smart individual. You see things in ways that other people don't. And I always wanted to make sure that she knew that. And so we wanted our kids to know we do have expectations, but we love you beyond them.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is more like not just the words, but more the intentions and almost the explaining part of it. Because because truthfully, giving recognition because you have a kind heart could, if not cultivated well, could turn into her now just constantly pouring love into other people because she thinks that's how she gets love back, right? And so like, but your intentions and the setting the tone and giving her validity in all areas of life and giving her those examples and the words and
Mm-hmm.
not just the praise, I think that goes such a long way. And as adults, we I think for a period of time we forgot that. We just assumed that people understood our intentions.
Yeah, I
Now
think,
we've almost gone
yeah,
too far, and now we
right.
word vomit all of our thoughts at
I,
people.
I think I think the spectrum, you know what I'm saying? I think the spectrum just goes, from one way to another. The big thing in our life is always balance. How do I balance this? How do I balance that? And I believe that sometimes we get stuck in the word of balance. So I took that word, even though I use it with my clients, but I took that word and I love to replace the word balance with harmonize. How do I
That's
bring,
my word.
see,
I'm like, we got to
see,
create harmony.
we have to create harmony.
Harmony dances.
Yes. So, how do I create a harmony in my children's lives where they understand that you do need to work? You need
Where
to
you're
work.
multifaceted.
Yes. And you have, because you can't live here forever, honey. You're going to have to work. You're going to have,
Got to
you,
work it.
you got to work it. You have to be able to get out there and accomplish certain things. What is it that you desire? But instead of me putting what I believe you should do, or what I believe you're good at, let's find those things and cultivate those things. So let's create harmony in those two, on those two sides. Are we going to get it right all the time? Absolutely not. I'm a person. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to lean more towards this side. Sometimes I'm going to forget about that side. I'm going to give over here without giving over there. These are the things that happen. But if the idea is to come back to try to harmonize these things in your life and create a balance in your life, then you know that I'm always coming from a
Yes.
place of goodness. I'm coming from a
Yes.
place of trying to give you a better blend, you know. And so I believe that's where, and I'm still gonna mess up, guys. I'm not perfect,
Well,
but I
but we're
think they
always evolving and we're
understand.
always learning, and our
Yes,
priorities shift. And I think the
yes,
beautiful part about harmony is like when you feel off, it's just like a quick glance to like recorrect, because sometimes this thing over here, this goal that we're going after to, is going to get the majority of the attention, but we still
exactly.
feel great because we're working towards the things that are
Hmm.
important. And then sometimes it's like you've been going too hard over in this area, and you're like,
Right.
I kind of really miss my family. I haven't really been
Yes.
spending much time. And it's like, oh, I need to correct. Now
Yeah.
my harmony feels a little better. And so, like, it's always just ebbing and
It's
flowing.
always because, like you said, in this season of my life, what is this season of your life? And in this particular season of your life, if you're going to night school and you have a family, and you have all of these different responsibilities, there's no way that you could be 20 20 20 20 20. There's no way that you could be 50 50. You're going to have to look and say, in this season of my life, I'm going to have to put 60% over here. I'm going to have to put 5% over here. I'm going to have to put 12% over there. And it all harmonizes. I'm going to
To
need a
a
little more
hundred
to
percent.
100%. I'm going to need a little more assistance over here. So I'm going to have to learn, what do I need right now in this particular season of my life, so that I can learn how to ask for that, so that I can harmonize the new activities that are happening in this new season of my life.
Mm. Oh my God. I was just about to ask you if learning who you are beyond the title and just being all of the things, if you noticed that you were then more open to trusting and letting people in and relying on other people in a
Yeah,
different way than you were when
learning
it was
who
just you.
learning who I was actually helped me to learn better boundaries, because I learned what I needed. And so when I learned what I needed, then what I had to do is go back and learn how to ask. Because if I'm
Mhm.
being honest, I expected other people to see what I'm doing and to volunteer to help me out.
Been there.
You see I got six
I
loads of
think we've
laundry.
all
Why
been
you not
there.
carrying one? But that's unfair. That's unfair. I can't I can't say I have this load and be the martyr, and then be mad when no one comes to assist. I have to understand, this is where my life is right now. This is what's needed for my life right now. Here's where I need assistance right now. Who in my life can I depend on to assist me in this certain way? So it really went back again to me being able to say, number one, you cannot do it all. And that's okay. Number two, giving myself permission to say that's okay. We don't give ourselves
Mm.
enough permission. It's okay for me to need some assistance. It's okay for me to leave some things until tomorrow. It's okay for certain things to not fit into my season and for me to remove myself from it. It's okay for
Isn't it
me to
amazing?
rest.
Isn't it amazing how we would all give that advice to the people we love, but for
Yep,
some reason we don't think that that it belongs to us. Like
exactly.
everyone else deserves those things. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I would tell my best
Yep,
friend. But like I'm not worthy of
right.
rest and help and like respectful, supportive surroundings.
Exactly. And you know why a lot of times is because we're still chasing the approval of expectation. And so it's easy for me to say to you, hey, as your life purpose and confidence coach, or it's easy for me to say to you as a mom life strategist, hey, you need to make sure that you're spending time with yourself. You need to make sure that you create that harmony in your life. You need to make sure that you're doing one, two, three, so that you're still able to chase your goals. That's wonderful. And then I come over here and I go, man, I can't chase my goals the way I want to because I got to make sure that this person has this or my clients have this or they have this. And so we give to others without giving to us because we're still setting ourselves up to have the approval of expectations of others. And that's why coaches need coaches.
And it takes us right back to the beginning of, are you feeling lost? Are you
Yes.
questioning whose life is this that I'm living? Like, who
Yes.
am I beyond mom or manager or
Yes.
phone operator, whatever your titles that you've been
Yes.
collecting over the years are? Like,
Yes.
it comes right back there full circle. And so, Shelley, for the woman who is going, like, I hear you, I'm crying right now, I'm feeling this, I don't even know how to start this conversation with myself. What are some questions that she could go exploring maybe tonight instead of
Mhm.
scrolling TikTok? She could start journaling it out.
Here's the one thing that I would say to any woman that's in that position. I say start with one. When we're on that road of discovery, when we don't know who we are, when we're lost, when we're out of balance, when we're trying to figure out who we are outside of our titles, we try to bring everything in at once. And that just overwhelms us, confuses us, and creates even more chaos. So, my response for every woman and any woman in that position is start with one. And what I mean by that is, what is one thing that is not associated or attached to any title that you love or like? Because some people are like, but what if I don't love it? Okay, like it, that you love or really like about yourself. What is that one thing? And it's not connected to anything. For me, when I stood in that mirror, boohoo crying, I stood there for what seemed to be a lifetime. But what I found is I love my smile. I love these 32 teeth. Okay.
They're
I
pretty
like them.
pearly. They're pretty pearly
Thank
and
you.
vibrant.
Thank you. It wasn't attached to whether you like me, whether you don't like me, how good of a mom I was, if I did laundry, if I had a job, if I didn't have a job. It was just me. And so when I started with that one thing, hey, I love my smile. And I believed that. I believed that I love my smile. So every time I smiled, it poured confidence into my being because it was one thing that I believed about myself that had nothing to do with anyone else. And so when we start with that one thing, we begin to believe that one thing. And that one thing is not associated with anything else. So it begins to pour life into my identity because this confidence is based on this woman, not what someone told me, not a title that I possess, not how good I am at something, but simply just my own belief. And when we're able to start with that one thing, we're able to begin building the confidence bucket, which will begin to allow us to try the next thing. That one thing wasn't so bad. That one thing didn't hurt as much as I thought that it would. So now that I've been able to build a confidence in that one thing, let's see what it'll be like to step out of the comfort zone into one more thing.
Stacking them up one at a time. I
Stacking
love
them
it.
up. Just
Oh my
one
God.
though.
I felt it. Like, I just, like, I don't, like, your conviction just then. Everyone listening right now, every woman who just heard you probably felt it in their core. Your conviction in that being your, like, the absolute truth to the core of your being.
Yes.
I felt it in my core. And
Yes.
so, like, I love that. Like, for me, you said your smile. Mine was my eyes, because for
Ah,
me, I struggled with my weight my whole life. And my eyes were the one thing I loved. And it was because they never, no matter how big or small I was, my eyes never changed.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They
I
just
love
were,
that.
and they were beautiful, and they
Yes.
sparkled, and they have really pretty green and blue specks in them, right? And
Love
I just was
loving
like,
those
I
eyes.
love that, right? And
Yes.
so we challenge, Shelly and I are challenging you right now. What is
Yes.
the one? What's
What
the
is that
one
one?
thing that you can anchor yourself into as you start building
Yes.
yourself up? And so,
Yes.
Shelly, how do people connect with you?
Yes, I would love to be able to connect with you on my Instagram or Facebook. It is my name, Shelley Meche'tte, and that's SHELLEYMECHETTE. So we can connect on social media platforms. It's just my name, or we can connect on my website, which is my name, ShelleyMeche'tte.com. We can connect on there, and we can always connect through yeah, DM. I have a group also for moms on Facebook. And so we can connect there. Purposeful moms, you are more than a mom, so we can connect there as well.
What
So
do women
yes,
get if they join Purposeful Mom? Like, what is that community about? What's she getting
absolutely.
by joining it?
Yes, that community, number one, is about you. And that's the first thing that I want every mom who joins to understand. That community is about you, who you are, where you are as a mother, your identity, what you love. It's an opportunity for community. It's an opportunity for tips and tools. It's an opportunity for me to come in also and walk with you with your journey in motherhood. Where are you? What's some of the advice you need? What are some of the things that you're going through? We drop that here in this community where we're able to take off that pretend super mom cape and get to know one another, who that woman is behind that title.
Oh, so powerful. You can't fake this. Like, you can't fake Shelly's energy. You can't fake her conviction. Like, if this is you, if this was the episode where, like, something just clicked in and you're crying and you're feeling all the things, go join her, connect with her. She is the step for your next level you. And with that, that is two humans talking. Thank you so much for being here, Shelly. And I'll see you
Thank
ladies next
you.
time.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye.